please don't dislike the video. Please, no, don't. Hey, no, seriously, don't dislike it. You don't have to like it, but just please don't dislike this video. I'm trying to make a video that no one would dislike. And I really, no, hey, I already asked you. No, stop, hey, stop. Don't dislike this video. No, that's the one thing I asked you not to do, is not to dislike it. Don't. Okay, so there's about 30 solid seconds worth of me begging you to not dislike the video. Now, if this were an actual video about not wanting to be disliked, you can imagine what would happen. If someone did a video like that in reality, it would obviously instantly gain dislikes just for the fact of someone was acting. They were so desperate to be not disliked that they would immediately be disliked. What I hoped to show you in those 30 seconds of drama, and I've told you many times, if you ever see me act out of character, it's because I'm acting in a certain character to prove a point, okay? I thought about making that a standalone video, but I think too many people would take it seriously. So obviously I'm proving a point, and that is, if I begged everyone not to dislike the video, they would purposely dislike it. Or if I begged you to like the video, you'd probably not like it. You'd probably dislike it either way, right? If I was that desperate of a YouTuber to be liked, I ultimately wouldn't be liked. And obviously, there's a parallel here. I've said it before, and you've heard it before, that people who are so eager to be noticed by the world, they want to be seen, they don't want to be invisible, they're the most invisible to the world. The people who try the hardest to be seen by doing the things that everybody else does. All the selfie cams and look at me, you know. Okay, even though you didn't request it, I'll do it, sure. Okay, obviously that is a culture that is to be mocked, right? We don't want any part of, as men, we don't want any part of being in this mindset of, I just want people to like me. I just want people to like me. Please like me. Please don't dislike me. Please like me. So when there's such desperation attached to being liked, what that is, it's an obvious sign of someone who has no sense of self. So imagine, let's assume that you are young and you're starting to see these signs of hair loss. The more desperate that you are to not be the balding guy, and that more that you freak out about it, and you don't want to be known as the balding guy, the more you're making yourself a target for people to point it out. I remember a guy named Josh, and I grew up with him. And if anybody had a receding hairline in 8th grade, I guess it was this guy. I didn't really notice it. I didn't care. But by 10th or 11th grade, I heard some people kind of joking with him that he's had a receding hairline since 8th grade. And sure enough, he was, last time I saw him, I mean, he was all like tattooed up and like, quote, jacked and all this stuff. But he definitely just didn't have much hair on his head. He shaved it off. You know, so he adopted that mindset of that's who he's going to be. But I never remember Josh being bothered by it. He never seemed insecure about it. He was just kind of a quiet guy, just kind of laughed it off. But he was never desperate to be liked in that way. He wasn't desperate to be seen as a good-looking guy. He just seemed to kind of do his own thing and whatever. And he ended up, actually, of all things, ended up working on cars. And I'm sure a very talented guy. If you had a messed up car, you take it to him, and Josh will get it taken care of, and you know, get you taken care of and do honest business with you. And that would be Josh. So it's interesting to look at those. See, when younger guys watch my video and they see the first possible signs of hair loss, they immediately think that they're going to be Josh, and they immediately freak out instead of assuming that there's a chance they won't be. But there's going to be some that are. But it's always interesting to look at the people who go through something that you may fear may happen to you, and you have a choice. Do you want to model your behavior after the people who survived it and made it through it? Or do you want to model your behavior after those who live in an act of desperation? Please like me. Please don't dislike me. Josh wasn't that kind of guy. he just kept doing his own thing and he's turned out just fine. No, he doesn't have any hair. He's got a lot of muscles and a lot of tattoos, and he seems to be fine with it. He seems to be fine with the fact he's got no hair. He knows who he is. He knows his identity is to be really good at working on cars. I can only imagine what he's doing right now in some shop on a car. In his free time, he's probably working on cars for himself. But the point is this: the more you are desperate to be liked and accepted, especially despite your hair loss, the less people are going to like you. More importantly, the less people are going to even see you. You're going to be seen as desperate. And that's not what people like in men and boys. They want to see someone who is confident in himself. So I tell you what, if you are self-identifying someone who is balding young, I guess for starters, I'd say some of the beginning advice I'd have for you is to not ever let anybody know that you're insecure about your hair loss. To never bring it up. If someone else brings it up first, you acknowledge it. You say, yep, I'll be bald by the time I'm 20, I'm sure, if not before. You laugh it off and that's it. And they see that you're confident. But right now, if your hair loss is bothering you, the best thing you can do is already be imagining, what are you good at? What can you be known for that you're good at? It's just like when I was giving that dating advice in the other video. It's funny how easy you can distract people by showing them through your lifestyle, through your actions, what you're good at. That's what people are really judging you on. What's his thing? What's he good at? What they're not asking is, how much hair does this guy have? And even if you have lost enough hair, if you're good at that one thing and everybody knows about it, then that's what you're actually known for. However, some people never get over their insecurities. Some men are into their 60s, still insecure about hair loss, and they never really put enough value into what other people actually valued them for. So again, going back to the first 30 seconds of this video, you can clearly see, if I begged you to not dislike the video, you would dislike it. If I begged you to like it, you'd probably dislike it just to spite me, especially if this wasn't a video with a moral message to it. The more desperate we are to be liked, the less likely we are to be liked, and the more likely we are to be invisible to the world. What if you're not desperate to be known as the guy who has perfect hair? What a vain and fleeing thing to be chasing anyway. We are men. Who cares if we have hair? We're supposed to be showing the world how skilled we are and how confident we are in that skill. Everything else is desperation.